Let's cover detox today because we live in a world that is filled with psychopaths that are poisoning our food and poisoning our environment and spraying chemicals everywhere, from golf courses to agriculture to our water supply, and we have to do something about that. It's one of these things that in modern society we can't get around. We've got microplastics everywhere. You're eating a credit card worth of plastic every single week. So eventually, I think we can clean up the planet. I think there's going to be a huge awakening in people that want to take care of the planet because everything's interconnected. But for the time being, your health is absolutely necessary. And consciousness has to come from being pure. That means that you have to take care of your body and you have to be pure. Everything is about the flow of electrons. And the flow of electrons is more than just how we think, because the way you think controls electrons, but it's the water you drink, the food you eat, the electromagnetic exposure that you're getting, the artificial lighting that you're getting hit with every day. It is how much sleep you're getting. It's all those factors, right? I always talk about the 7 basics: water, food, rest, exercise, mind, environment, which is the EMF and blue light, or artificial light, and posture. So those are the factors that control the flow of electrons through our electron transport chain in our mitochondria, the organelle. That's the longevity organelle. That's what we want to look at. That's how we can determine how well we are making our sex hormones, by how well your mitochondria are functioning. So when it comes to the sauna, you want to find a sauna that has low amounts of magnetic fields. A lot of the ballasts that are in most of these saunas, now this is an infrared sauna, and I'm going to explain why in a little bit, but you want to find a sauna that has low amounts of magnetic fields, because the 60 hertz frequency that comes out of those, the boxes, the control units, those are actually putting out magnetic fields in the form of 60 hertz, which disrupts the flow of electrons in that mitochondria. And the point of doing the sauna is you don't want to disrupt those. So we want, this sauna right here is the high-tech health sauna, and this sauna is the lowest in the industry of magnetic fields. Lowest EMF you're going to find. They have it listed on their site. So that's number one. And then you want to find an infrared sauna. Now at my office, I have an ozone steam cabinet, which is an ozone sauna, which is actually even better for detoxification. But it's not as good for your mitochondria. It will improve the mitochondrial function because you detox out all the heavy metals, the plastics, the pesticides, the herbicides, the fungicides. That's all true, and it's the best way for that. But the infrared sauna is my go-to choice on a regular basis. And the reason I chose infrared is because of that organelle, the mitochondria, and what infrared light does for our bodies. Infrared light spins our mitochondria, and it moves those electrons. And as those move, we make high levels of CO2 that break down fibrin and elastin. That's called amyloid plaque. So you always hear about people with clogged arteries, cardiovascular disease, and the sauna has been proven to eliminate, or not, I should say eliminate, reduce cardiovascular risk factors by up to 60% by doing 4 saunas a week. So if we do 4 saunas a week, at 140 degrees or more, we can break down those amyloids. We can break down the fibrin and elastin. We can get rid of the senescent cells, the waste product from cells that have lost their ability to function. People like to do autophagy, but I'm not a fan of autophagy in the way of fasting because it disrupts glycolysis and our glucose can't convert to pyruvate, but that's on another side note. So we're working on the sauna here, and we're going to clear out those amyloid plaques. It's also going to get rid of the microplastics. And the microplastics that we get from the environment, that 1 credit card a week that we're consuming in our modern society, that is disrupting the superoxide pulse. Now, the superoxide pulse is what we need to start aerobic respiration, how we take oxygen and convert that to carbon dioxide. So if we don't move through that process smoothly, we don't make the CO2 and you don't break down the amyloids, right? So now we end up with cardiovascular disease. And that's how it actually works, because I think it's really cool to understand why you do these hacks and how they actually work. You probably didn't know this, but fluoride that's in the water that everybody talks about hardening the pineal gland and, ruining people's intuition. What fluoride is, and microplastics, it's fluorine, right? Microplastics are fluorine. So it's the same thing as fluoride. And so that superoxide pulse that I talk about is the thing that's destroying. There's no room for it. It doesn't need to be there. Actually, if you look at research and you look in Canada and you look at Vancouver and you look at Montreal, Vancouver doesn't use fluoride and they have less cavities. So the whole thing with dental caries is a false flag. It's there. It's a chemical. It's in the water, and it's there, for sanitation purposes. But is it really? And I think it's just a waste product that the corporations had to dump and expose of. It as a way to monetize another revenue stream for the corporations. And whether you believe there's a conspiracy theory on it to shorten people's lives or not, could be, could not be. I think there is, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just corporate greed and financial incentive. That's probably the bigger part of it anyway. So you want to avoid not just fluoride, but the microplastics, and the sauna is the way to go to get rid of those plastics and fluoride out of your body, because you improve aerobic respiration and your liver's ability to detoxify and the kidneys. Now, just don't reciting what some influencer told you was going to happen when you did it. Just trust the science. Don't trust anything. You got to look things up for yourself. You got to understand how and why things work. That's what makes life interesting. We want to understand why nature works. Why is it that birds are, have dark feathers generally on the top and lighter feathers on the bottom, and there's a good reason for that, right? It makes them more buoyant. There's a reason why there's pectin in birds' eyes, because they can use their mitochondria to produce energy that they don't have to eat, and they can fly longer distances. So there's cool things that nature has done. We want to understand nature and everything that God made and why it works that way, because it's amazing, and through that you have more faith in God, because there's no way that it was reproducible by man. We can see how things have evolved throughout the centuries and the time that the earth has been around. But infrared light is the energy of the sun, and you get most of that in the morning. And most people are not getting enough sun, and we need all the spectrums. We need infrared light, and we need the UVA and the UVB. There's benefits to each spectrum. And so the sauna is infrared light. And that infrared light is basically helping you convert your oxygen into CO2 and water. So it's hydrating your cells while you're doing it too, because that's how we make exclusion zone water. So as we make this exclusion zone water, which is low in deuterium, that is going to turn your toxins into water-soluble substances. So the polypropylene glycol, the artificial sweeteners, the pesticides, the herbicides, glyphosate, right? Everyone that likes to talk about. They don't talk about other ones like that they use at the golf course, right? So the worst pesticide, even worse than glyphosate, is paraquat, right? That's even worse. But if we can detox it, we got a way to do it, and the infrared sauna is a great way. So now we're making that exclusion zone water by sitting in this sauna. And it's getting hot. I think we're up to 100 degrees in here. So it's not quite. We got to get this thing up to 140. So bear with me if I really start to sweat. So we're getting this thing up to 140. We're making this exclusion zone water, and that is going to help our kidneys and our livers get rid of all these dangerous, pernicious chemicals in our environment. They're just deleterious to our system. And we don't want to have them. Now, granted, I get it. Some of you don't care. You don't care about spirituality and consciousness. You're living in ego, and you like your cigarettes, and you like your alcohol, and you like to escape through Netflix, binging, and partying in society, and that's cool. That's just where you're at. But that's not why you're here. You're a light being manifested in physical matter, and you're here to learn certain lessons and go through karmic cycles and ascend, right? and reach a level of consciousness, just as many ascended masters like Jesus or Buddha have done in the past. So I think there's a deeper meaning to life. And if you're not there, you're not there. That's cool. But I would hope that you still would like to be healthy, and I would like to help you achieve optimal health. I'd like to have you have the greatest aerobic respiration possible. And if you haven't been following me, then, we're going to have to cover aerobic respiration, what that is. And there's some really cool videos I got coming out to teach you what that is. And it'll probably, if you just hear me out, you're probably going to start hearing more people talk about it pretty soon. It's going to get popular. It's going to be the next trend. But you heard it here first. So the deal is, now we're improving aerobic respiration. We're sitting in the sauna. We're detoxing out these microplastics, and we're creating our superoxide pulse, and we're making this exclusion zone water, and our bodies are purging it in the liver and the kidneys. So we have all these amazing benefits now from being in the sauna 4 times a week. Your energy levels are going to start to go up, right? Your sleep is going to improve. Your cognitive ability is going to improve. Your immune system is going to function. So, that's one of the biggest things that happens is when we become toxic, our immune system is suppressed. Even when you think negatively, we become toxic. It stops the flow of electrons, and our bodies can't detox. So the infrared sauna is a tool that I like to use. And it has changed the way that I feel, and it has changed the way that I think. And I get it when you say, well, great, I can detox into the sauna. Oh my God, it's expensive. Everything's expensive. Buying the organic food is expensive. You got to stop eating the poisons and the toxins too. It's not just detox them. You don't want to eat them. So when we go to the supermarket, the issue with going to the supermarket is even the organic food. That organic food has probably been sitting, like the apples have been sitting because they were sprayed, they were gassed, and they've been sitting there for 6 months to a year before they even get shipped. And that's how they can keep the supply chain moving and keep people fed, but at the same time it's poisoning us. So, they spray things on the food, even if it's organic, after it's grown, so that it lasts longer on the shelves. So, oh my God, you got to start shopping at local farmers markets. That's just what you have to do for now. Or grow your own food. If you have a spot where you can grow your own food, great. But if you don't have the money to do a lot of this stuff, it's okay. Do the best that you can. But let me tell you something. The fact that you say, I don't have the money is an excuse, because you have a gift. You were born here. You were manifested in as a light being. You were chosen to be here. And there's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people feel secure around you. You were born to manifest the glory of God. So in that, you can access those 30 million trilovolts of electricity to create whatever it is you want in your life. All you have to do is have a skill and love people enough to help them. That's all it takes. And it isn't going to happen overnight, but over time, as you give, you're going to receive. And as you give and you receive and give and receive over and over and over, eventually you become abundant. And life gets easier and you get happier, and manifestation amplifies, right? So you want to treat other people as yourself, because they're just a reflection of you. Everything contains matter. And all matter is influenced by thought. So you want to love people as yourself, because they're just you. Everything's all connected. So as you do that, you start to make money, and now, oh my God, I can afford to buy the sauna. I can start to buy organic food. I can buy a farm, right? And so God blesses you because God is within you, and you chose to own that. And now you have money, you can start to take care of yourself better, you can start to feel better about yourself, you start to attract more love in your life, your health goes through the roof because now aerobic respiration is functioning better, you're taking oxygen, it's converting to carbon dioxide efficiently, you're making the exclusion zone water, it's plasma. It's plasma water is what exclusion zone water is. And plasma, our universe, is not all empty space like we used to think. It's plasma, 99% plasma, not empty space. And everything around you is impacting that. And sauna is a big thing to make that plasma and make that plasma water, and that holds energy. That helps you detoxify. So A lot of it is mindset, but that you need, if you want to get a sauna and you want to do these things, like glyphosate, you want to get rid of the glyphosate so you don't eat it in your food, but it's still in our environment. It's still in your water supply, so you got to detox your water. But to really get rid of it, you have to understand how pernicious or harmful it is to your body, and then you'll want to get rid of it because it contains a molecule similar to glycine, and your copper can't bind your iron, and you're not making hemoglobin, so your cells aren't oxygenated, and now you wind up with weird autoimmune stuff going on, and histamine and allergies, because the reticular endothelial system is in your liver, and that's your iron recycling system, but it also clears out metabolic waste product, all that bacteria, all the harmful bacteria, all those anaerobes. So, you can make this happen. I promise you. Just find a skill and offer to help people because you love them, and you'll be blessed in return, and you will be able to supply all the things that you need in life. God, through you, is giving you the power. You just have to act on it. So, I don't know, if you want to get a hold of one of these saunas, I can get you one. I can get you $1,000 off. I'm going to put I am going to put a link up with the phone number and how to contact them. You can get $1,000 off, and you can get on your detoxification journey. You can amp up your aerobic respiration, and you can live the best life possible. But remember, it starts with a thought. Your mind is magnetic. You can be healthy. You can attract love, and you can make money. You get the three things people want. You want money, love, and health, and you can create all those things. Sauna is just a tool.